crop is a crop that you grow not because you're going to eat it, but because you plan to use it to feed the soil food web. So you grow it specifically with the plan that you're going to stir it back into the soil, and it's going to be food for the soil microbes next spring. So if you look here in this field, you'll see that we have this tall stuff that's like grass. That's rye. And then if you look down below the rye, you'll see some very small things with 3 leaves. Those are little clover plants. And those clovers are a really important crop because they live together with some bacteria in the soil, some very small guys in the soil, who are able to take nitrogen gas out of the air and put it in a form that plants can use. And nitrogen is a very important fertilizer. They are kind of like best friends. They do work together, and in fact, you know, neither one of them would be any good without the other. It's a very wonderful relationship. We call that a symbiosis, and that's a relationship where 2 different kinds of things live together and work together, and each one makes the other one stronger. You know, a lot of the plants that we use for cover crops are things that can live in the winter, even in Iowa. Those little roots underground are going to stay alive. The tops will look kind of dead, but the roots will be alive, and in the spring, just the minute the sun comes out, about March, when the snow melts, that rye will come right back to life, and you'll be able to look out and see brown, 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 and a big old splotch of green every place where there was a rye cover crop planted the fall before. There are many kinds of cover crops. One of my favorite combinations is rye and hairy vetch. Hairy vetch is also a plant that lives with a microbe and takes the nitrogen out of the air. We can also use oats as a grass. We can use wheat. Winter wheat makes a nice cover crop. And then there are lots of things you wouldn't think would be cover crops, but things like turnips and canola and radishes and lots of different kinds of clovers can make very wonderful cover crops. But they have to be planted at the right time. Not every one of those things can live through the winter. They're kind of like a Snuggie. They make it all covered up and safe from rain and safe from wind and safe from erosion over the winter, and then all the roots and all the plant parts are really good food for all those guys who live in the soil. Yeah, I like it.